Rendering is a construction technique that involves applying a layer of cement, sand, and water to a wall to create a smooth and textured surface. So today I'm going to take you all through a number of steps that I utilize when rendering walls. Let's begin. So step 1 is actually to clean the surface in which you're actually going to mix the cement, sand, and water. Now why you need to actually make sure and clean the surface is if you don't clean it and you actually have rocks and stones on that surface, if you mix that with the cement, sand, and water and you attempt to render the walls, you're going to realize that you're getting a lot of issues actually rendering the wall. You're going to have scenarios where you're using the float to actually smoothen the surface, and the stones and rocks that are actually in that mixture are actually going to be moving about in the mixture while you are utilizing the float, and it's going to be creating grids and channels through your rendered wall. Okay, the second thing we do is get the sand, cement, and water on site. So the next thing to do is actually mix the sand, cement, and water together to actually create what we call mortar. Now make sure you mix this properly. The mixture should be consistent. Now I strongly advise you utilize gloves when mixing mortar. Remember, you're dealing with cement. So as cement dries, it actually produces a lot of heat and it could actually burn your skin. And the next thing is that you don't want any cement getting into your skin. So what I advise is you put on some latex gloves first of all, and then put over a cloth glove, a heavy duty cloth glove over that. So you have two layers. You actually have that latex glove that's going to avoid any cement from getting to your fingers. The next step is to apply the mortar to the wall. Now many times persons will sprinkle water on the wall before they apply the mortar. Why they do this is to ensure that the mortar properly adheres to the wall by ensuring that the moisture is evenly distributed to ensure that the mortar properly sets. I'll be foregoing that step today, so let's continue. Alright, as you can see, I already applied the mortar to the walls, and I just allowing it to dry a little bit. Next step is to actually begin to float it out. So let's do this. Before I float the wall, this next step is to actually utilize a 1 by 3 by 5 lumber to actually shave off the excess mortar from the wall. So let me repeat this again. The dimensions are going to be a 1 inch by 3 inch by 5 foot piece of lumber. Utilize that and just shave off the excess mortar from the wall before we actually start to float. Why we doing this is we want to make sure that there is an almost even surface, so that when we actually floating out the wall using the float, it's a bit easier to make sure that that wall is straight and even. The final step is to complete the rendering process by floating out the wall. And to assist with this, you need a soft mix of mortar so that we can apply that to the wall while we actually float this out. So I completed the job, and then I came back the next day and did the right hand side. All that's left to do is that part on the top there. As you can see, the wall is properly rendered. It's very smooth, professionally done. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on the next one.